My name is Sarah Thompson Clark, aka Bandit, and I'm a singer-songwriter as well as a lecturer for Tileyard education. Jenny is a song that I originally wrote on the piano, very slowly. It's a very heartfelt song. And then I worked on it with a producer called Belfort, who's amazing. And we sped it up. I sang it at the original tempo, which was like 87. I think now it's about 127, 130. We sped it up and it sounded great. I think a lot of the time there's a fear of speeding up the vibrato, and we just went with it. So it's kind of like, oh, a lot, but we love it. And it was originally a pitch for Fred Again. And then they passed on it, which is absolutely fine, not bitter. And but luckily Fred Again's publisher also had a label, and he said, I would love to put this out on my label, which we were so excited about. So it came out and went viral, which was fantastic. Jenny is about my nana who passed away. I was living down south in London when she passed away, and I had a lot of guilt attached to that, not being around. I'm a northern girl, I wasn't with my family, I wasn't with. I think a lot of people shared that guilt when someone passes away, that we should have made more of the time with them when we could. With Jenny, I was lucky enough to have a social media team. I had an office of people that would come to have meetings and send ideas. I would be on Zoom, we would discuss what I'm willing to try, what I'm not willing to try, and then we'd get together and have one day where a gentleman turned up with a camera and filmed me doing all these things that we'd planned to do. And that would happen about once a week, and we would get, or once every couple of weeks, and we would get enough content to put up a TikTok every couple of days. Every 2 days, maybe, then that content would be watched. There is a rule of thumb in social media marketing. That is, if something is organically liked, for every 10 watches, if you get 1 like, then you should put some money behind it. That was the rule of thumb. So we'd give it, say, 8 to 24 hours. We'd make sure it wasn't going to the wrong side of social media. We'd make sure it's got the right hashtags, it's going to the right people who would care about what I'm doing. And then we would make sure those people like it with the 1 in 10 rule. If for every 100 watches there was 10 likes, then the label would put some money behind it. If the label put money behind it too soon, before the 1 in 10 likes, then there's money pushing that bit of content into the wrong end of social media with people that don't want to watch your content. I remember looking at one that got pushed a bit too quickly, and I was just being bullied. It was just absolute bullying. And so I had this moment where I was like, oh gosh, this feels horrible. And I said, oh, can we take this, I really want to take this down. It's not the right people that are viewing this. And because there was money put behind it, it took TikTok about 48 hours to take it down, because this journey had been funded and paid for, so they couldn't just take it off. So there's all these things that you learn that feel quite small, but all mount up to being a bit more social media savvy. So we try and do a few, I think they call them personality posts. So for every 2 of me singing this song, there'd be 1 personality post, which sounds really sterile. It's sort of like, have personality now. But it was really good for me, because I wanted to get that side across. We're going to use the most straightforward part, the most easily accessible part. So we're going to use, oh heaven, can you hear me? Over and over again. We're going to have that moment. And because people immediately understand who you're talking to, that there's some sort of anguish going on, or some sort of joyful moment. But whatever it is, it's a big moment. So that was absolutely fine. It's working out with yourself what you're happy with and what you're not, because this is a personal thing. Made a few videos to let people know that Jenny was coming out and what Jenny sounded like, and we put them on TikTok online. And this wonderful guy from the label rang me up one day and said, "Oh, have you seen how many UGCs there are?" And I said, "What's the UGC?" It's a user-generated content. So it's when someone uses your soundbite or your music to make their own video and make their own content. And that's a really great signpost to how well people are taking to that song and how well it's doing. So I had a look at it, and there was about 2,000 people had made videos with Jenny, which was amazing. And the guy from the label said, Little Mix has a song out, or he was working with Little Mix and they had a song out, and within the first week it got about 500 UGCs. And so that's when I thought, wow, people really like Jenny, this is really exciting. And it was amazing to see how important it is for other people to really take your music and create something with that, and how much of a sign that is that something's kicking off and people really like this and they really care about it. People wanted to talk to me about Jenny and talk to me about what I was saying and how I was feeling, and it felt like I was helping people. I had a lot of messages, very personal things, because Jenny is about grief. So I got to really meet people online where they are and where I was in the moment of writing that song, which is actually quite exhausting to some degree, but important, and I felt really grateful to be a part of that for other people. Someone sharing the song and they were DJing it, and I looked on it and it was Nathan Dawe was just playing this song that wasn't out yet. So Jenny had been club promoted, and Nathan Dawe had heard Jenny and thought, fantastic, I love this, and it just was playing Jenny in his sets. And this is before it was on radio or any of those things. And I remember thinking, music people like this, like dance, this is my first sort of dance song, and people who know a lot about dance really like this, and that was amazing. Something else that I really learned from when Jenny went viral was that I'd been trying to write these pop songs and trying to copy what I was hearing on the radio and trying to sort of replicate things that I'd, melodies and beats and things that I'd seen or heard on the radio. And actually what really kicked off my career in a different way is being completely honest and talking about very personal things, very real things, real places, real people, real emotions, and not making it so vague that anyone can feel it and anyone can drop along. This felt to me like an incredibly personal song, and it was a massive shock to me that people said, I completely understand that, because I'd been sort of teaching myself to be more vague, tick all the boxes, don't be too sad, don't be too happy. And then this moment happened where I said in the song, I'm like absolutely heartbroken, and this is the true story of everything I'm feeling. And that's when people really started caring about what I was saying. So that was a big learning curve for me, saying actually stop trying to be someone else. With social media, just make the videos, try everything, see what other people are doing. What is your thing? What makes you different to the next person? What makes me different to the other females that are singing on dance tracks in the UK? What I'm singing about feels different. My voice, everyone's voice is different. What's so special, what's special about mine? What's my selling point there? Also, I like to have a laugh, so I can use that, I can have a joke, and that's my comfort place.